setting a proper motivation with 3 points. First, the refuge field. Visualize the Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Are Manjushri, Are Blukteshvara, Are Vajrapani, Are Tara, Are Nagarjuna, Bodhisattva Ari Deva, the Acharya Chandrakirti, Are Sangha, Acharya Vasubandhu, Acharya Dignaga, the Dharmakirti, Bodhisattva Shandideva, Bodhisattva Chandrakshita, Acharya Kamalashil, Lama Selingba from Indonesia, Lama Dishadamgari Sri Jnana, and all the great masters of Nyingma tradition, from Guru Padmasambhava, then from the Kagyu tradition, the great Saint Saraha, the Master Dilupa, Master Narupa, Lama Marpa, Chizumidarepa, Chizunkambapa, and all the great teachers in this line, from Sakya's tradition, Sachin Kungwa Nyingpo, Sakya Pandit and so forth, and then Lama Tsongkhapa, Gyaltsar Rinpoche, Khedr Rinpoche. Just imagine that, just visualize the whole space in front of you filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, so loving, caring, and embracing. And for your body to feel, you visualize your two grandparents, your children, and all your family members, and all dear Mother Sentient beings, the human beings, the animals, insects, hungry ghouls, health beings, god and goddesses, spirits, everyone here in Zencom, in France, in the world, in the Milky Way galaxy, and in the entire universe. And the purpose is to practice to awaken this Buddha nature within us. And how to awaken this is so important. How to awaken this is that it is there, the Buddha, the light, the gold is within us. Why it is not visible is because of the mental dirt, mental defilements. See, the nature of the mental defilements is of two kinds, gross and subtle. Gross one referred to as the afflictive obscurations. This stops us from attaining fearlessness and freedom from miseries. In other words, it stops us from attaining nirvana. And the subtle stains stop us from attaining infinite happiness and technically referred to as Buddhahood. And how to get rid of these mental defilements is for the afflictive obscurations. It is of 3 kinds: contaminant karmas, afflictions, and the active seeds. Active seeds of these are the above 2, contaminant karmas and afflictions. So how to get rid of these is by resorting to a very powerful remedy. And the remedy is none other than the wisdom of emptiness, as indicated by the Buddha himself and further explained by Are Nagarjuna. And this must be supported by the bodhicitta as the driving force. That's bodhicitta must have the support of the renunciation. So with this very clear mind, imagine that you are leading this prayer and all the dear Mother Sentient makes a journey you. And teach with great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And teach with great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And teach with great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Sanje joda zoge chonam la chanjo bardo dane gyapsu che tage chinso kebe Tola Benjir Sanje Dubarajo Sanje Joda Soge Jonamna Chanju Bardo Dane Jabzoje Dage Jinsoge Basonam Tola Benjir Sanje Dubarajo Sanje Joda Soge Jonamna Chanju Bardo Dane Jabzoje Dage Jinsoge Basonam Tola Benjir Sanje Dubarajo. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations to the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations to the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness and no sameness. I prostrate to the concept of the Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, who through the knowledge of all lead here seeking pacification to complete peace, who through the knowledge of paths cause help those helping migrants to achieve the aims of the world, and who through the possession of omniscience helps subdue us expand a variety of teachings. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata and protector to your make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualization and is sent out with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines for the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. Okay, there are some who were absent during when last time when I explained this meaning, the meaning of this mantra. I'm going to quickly identify the word meaning, so that whenever you recite this mantra, when you're in the airplane, when you're in the train, when you're in the bus, when you're walking in the forest, you can recite this mantra for everyone, the insect, including tiny insects. How many? For example, I learned that in France there are like 60 million people. And how many animals, insects, spirits, god and goddesses, how many reside in France. So you can recite this mantra for everyone and everyone in the world, in the whole universe. So this mantra is so precious, and those who were from the beginning, you know that in fact the Buddha himself taught this. At the request of Avalokiteshvara on behalf of all the gods and goddesses in the 33 heavens. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly explain this. The first syllable Om, originally it is not there. Whether you recite it, not recite it is fine, but to recite it there's no harm in it. To recite it is actually good, in fact. Om. We have to know this meaning, because this is something which comes in many of the mantras. And Om, the syllables constituted of 3 letters, A, U, Ma. And these 3 letters, they symbolize your body, speech, and mind. And finally, if you look at ourselves, we see that we only have the body, speech, mind, that's it. So besides this, there's nothing there to identify as a self. Likewise, the Buddha. When we speak of the Buddha, we revere the Buddha. Buddha is also constituted of the body, speech, mind. So when each one of us, when we succeed in a practice to awaken the Buddha nature, the body that we have is going to become the Buddha's body, so pure, without any defects, no sickness, no anger, no hunger, no cancer, nothing. It is so extreme. It's just the nature of your own radiant mind. The speech is so pure that anyone hears this, everyone will be healed. And the mind is omniscient, which pervades every atom of the universe. So this is how, when we recite this Om, should remind us that my body, speech, and mind, which are very impure at the moment, they should be transformed into this body, speech, and mind by awakening the Buddha nature within me. In other words, to become Buddha. So this is what we should be reminded of as we recite the first syllable Om. Then the main body of the mantra is Ye Dharma. Ye is these. Dharma is phenomena. These phenomena, and explicitly it is these phenomena, but implicitly these phenomena of miseries. These phenomena of miseries. Hetu is a cause. Prabhava is arise, originates. These dharma of miseries arise from causes. The miseries that we go through, they are not random. They arise from the respective causes. Hetum desham tathagato. Hetum, again the cause, the plural form of cause. The hetum desham, these. Tathagato, the one who has gone to the ultimate, all the Buddhas. Hyavatat is taught. And these causes of the miseries, which means contaminated karmas, afflictions, inappropriate tension, and the self-grasping ignorance. Therefore, they are taught by the Tathagata, all the Buddhas. Then next, Desham, again these, meaning these causes. Chayo is whatever of these causes. Nirodha, cessation, stopping, bringing an end. Evam is thus. Vadi, taught. So, whatever these causes are, whatever are these causes of the miseries, how to bring an end to these is thus. Vadi, evam is thus. Vadi is taught again. Is taught or spoken. Mahashramana. Maha is the great. Shramana is the saint, great saint, referring to all the Buddhas. Ye Swaha. Ye Swaha is established thus. So in other words, all the miseries we go through are the results of the respective causes. And what are these causes? They are taught by the Tathagatas. And the bringing the end, how to bring an end to these causes, is also taught by the great seer. This is established. This meaning. Let us read this once more. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham tathagato hyavatat tesham chayo evam vati mahashramana yeswaham. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessational causes as well as taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar of Dharma I've discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching, in silence I return to the woods. Pure utterance, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has nothing in nature space. Is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times of obeisance. 4 seeds of the Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcendent soul is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dhamma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is also everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of the suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine a light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries gloom. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to the samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Page 14. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the full destroyer, the completely perfected, full awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, Lord of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the complete and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O Supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, you pace out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that bases in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord to you I prostrate. With a supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Trustworthy like you, the 3 worlds are not, incompatible wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, a field of merit with qualities like vast ocean, to you the Tathagata I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, one part, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly, this is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, such conditioned things as such. Through this merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the 4 faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Heart Sutra, page 29. The Perfection Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to thy irretrievable gem. And thus did I hear at one time. The Buddha was dwelling on the mass of Valshas mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom, and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom train? He said that in the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composite factors, and consciousness empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unseen, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering or origination, cessation of the path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifest a complete awakening to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Teyata Om Gade Gade Bara Sam Gade Bodhi Soham. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, along the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you've indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, those around in the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas were overjoyed and highly praised as spoken by the Buddha. Okay, let us all imagine that we are in Rajgir, the Vulture Peak, where the Buddha gave all these teachings, including the Heart Sutra. And imagine that Buddha Shakyamuni is there, Avalokiteshvara, Shariputra, all the Bodhisattvas are there, and you, your parents, your children, and all the immortal sentient beings are with you, and right in front of the Buddha. And imagine that the Buddha is exhorting us, have no fear, come to the state of ultimate happiness. And you are hearing this, what the Buddha is saying. You inform this to all the immortal sentient beings. Look, this is what a compassionate teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, is teaching us. Let us not remain in fears anymore. Let us all go towards awakening the Buddha nature, from the darkness to the light, from the miseries to the happiness, and from the ignorance to the wisdom. So hearing this, all the dear sentient beings, they are so happy to join you in this journey of following the path, Gade Bara Sam Gade, to purify the mental defilements, to awaken the Buddha nature within us. And imagine that you are leading this recitation, and in the presence of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all sentient beings are joining you. Teyata Om Gade Gade Bara Gade Bara Sam Gade Bodhi Swatyata Om Gade Gade Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswa Dhyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswadhyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswadhyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing power of truth, may inner and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, may auspicious and perfect happiness pervade this place now. 8 verse 1 training, page 35. With the determination to achieve the highest aim, for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with this abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer it to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I place great hopes, mistreat me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard them still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may recognizing all things as illusions, the word of clinging be released from bondage. Through my 2 collections, vast space that I have amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the shield-leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom eyes blinded by ignorance. Okay, Seven Puja, excerpt from the King of Prayers, extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samadhi. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, you the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past and future, in the world of 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech and sincere mind I bow down, with the energy or aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world. To all you Buddhas visualized as real I bow down. On every particle are Buddhas numberless as atoms. Each of them is a host of Bodhisattvas. I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugathas. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented walls and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense I offer to you victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings and spectacular array I offer to you victorious ones. With transcendental offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done with my body, speech and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger and confusion, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift my heart and rejoice in all the merits of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here still training those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You are the bright lights of worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening. All you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of the Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request, you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for aeons, numberless as the atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated by making prostration, offering, confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay in touch, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. A short mantra offering, page 40. This ground unwounded with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine there's a Buddha field and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. O Sajibhe Joshe Mendo Tam May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practices on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four Dhammas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva, becoming utterly frustrated with ignorance that grasps with true existence. Please bless me with genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious free bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of dependent emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Edam Guru Ranam Lagam Nerateyame. Okay, again, for those who came later, I'll explain this, the two sets of requests. The first one, the four Dhammas Venerable Kambaba. Of course, this Jesun Kambaba, he was the direct disciple of Jesun Milarepa. And in fact, through whom we received this teaching on the Mahamoudra, this lineage. The first one says, may I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. So if you look in this world, we see that some people that just go into purely this life, like indulgence, just working, and then they working to earn something, and then go into, the parties and so forth, just for this life. And versus people who think of the future lives. Two things. People who think of the future lives, then the Dharma starts. Dharma starts from there. What do you mean by Dharma? Dharma is where the individual thinks of not only this life but also the next life. But not to ignore this life. This is not the meaning. But there are some people who are extremely competent and who can dedicate fully for the future lives. For that matter, they actually leave everything behind and follow the path. That's a different story. But it's not that everybody has to do that. And take care of this life. We should be very realistic. And particularly if you're sick, you cannot go to the mountains. You cannot go to, go by yourself. And it's just totally a waste of this precious human birth. Whereas some people can do that. That's a different story. The rest of us, and they say, we take care of this life. Make sure that you are healthy. Make sure that they say materially you are supported. And you have good friends around. This is so important. Alongside, also think of the future lives. Preparing for the future lives. That becomes a Dharma life. Only when you include the future lives, then it becomes a dharma life. So, for that matter, we need to think of the preciousness of human birth, then the preciousness, the rarity of human birth, impermanence of the reality, and then the law of karma, and the suffering nature of the whole samsara. We need to think of these. That marks you as a dharma practitioner, minimum. So, if your mind is directed towards that, this is the meaning of, may I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the dharma. So, whereas some people, when they see that, okay, now you are going to Kalachakra, or you are doing the dharma study and so forth, then what is this? It has nothing to do with us. And then the person diverts from what you're doing. So that is very unfortunate. Their mind is directed towards the world, directed towards the mundane world. So it says that may mind be directed towards the dharma. So that happens a meeting with dharma people, that you are close to a center, that you are close to some teachers that help you to direct your mind towards dharma. Number 2, may I be blessed that my dharma practice is on the proper path. So this is something, and this requires may I be blessed that my dharma practice does not meet with obstacles. This is a better, but this is how it was translated. So this book is actually what Tibet has recompiled, but many of these things we extracted from various sources, and I'm not too keen to bring about abrupt change there. And of course, one person cannot do everything. So therefore, we kept many of the things as they are from the original translators. So actually, in Tibetan, it is Chue Lamdu Lomba Chingalob. Lamdu Lomba has the connotation, so it is literal translation, is exactly what is done here. Literal translation. But the meaning wise, that the Dharma, may I be blessed, that my Dharma practice does not meet with obstacles. This meaning. Obstacles meaning, say, for you become sick. You can go, and then because of your family members, you have to go far away. You have to, change your place. You have to move to a very far away place from the center, from the Dharma teachers, and so forth. These are all obstacles. And then worst, when your mind feels unhappy with the Dharma, when the mind feels unhappy, then that's the worst of the obstacle. When from inside you don't want to do the Dharma. So there you should be very careful, include this in the prayer, that may I be blessed that my Dharma practice does not meet with the obstacles. Okay. The third one, may I be blessed that the path is freed of flaws. That, okay, now you're not sick, your mind is full into Dharma, and even your family is very supportive, all these factors are there. But somehow, you meet with the wrong path. Wrong path meaning, like for example, NKT, right? NKT, New Katamba tradition, So you meet with these people, or you meet with some people saying, what are you doing? What time are you doing? Oh, I'm studying this, I'm studying Bodhicitta. What study? You have to practice, come. The Dharma is to practice, right? No need of studies. Why are you wasting time with this? Directly study, directly practice. Come to a place. And then they teach you just single point of meditation. Just breathing meditation. And they say, do this, very simple, and it will take you to Buddhahood. All others are distractions, waste of time. So this says, taking you to a wrong path. It says that may I be blessed that the path is freed of flaws. These are the mistaken paths. So may I be blessed that my path is freed of the mistaken paths, mistaken directions. So important. I remember that from one place, and there was I think about 17 years ago, somehow there were two young girls just graduated from high school, and somehow for the first time they came for just as a tourist and met me. they ask somebody else. So because there's tourist place and Buddhism in that area is also like for the tourists, it's also like a market piece. So they want to explore what is Buddhism because they already are there. And then somebody said, go to him. So they came to me. And then, in fact, of the two, A and B, I will say A and B. A is 1 year older and A is extremely intelligent. B is intelligent, not as A. But it so happened over this stretch of the years, B who is less intelligent, but less than, comparatively less than the A. B has been very consistent with this study, Dharma, complete bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, and the studies, reflection, meditation. Now today, B has become so good. I'm not going to mention the name. B has become so good. Whereas the A, more intelligent than the B. A goes, and then suddenly her thought changed. And then she went into some kind of practice like single point of meditation. Went there, and she kept the contact with me. Kept contact whenever comes meet me. That happens, but she's not really into these studies and reflection meditation. No. And then one day, because that she continues to keep in touch with me, so out of sense of concern, I told her that, okay, say whatever you're doing, do it. Do it. That's fine. There's nothing wrong in it. Your single point of meditation, do it. But alongside, you must spend some time for studies. And she's not convinced. She's not convinced. Then over time of now, almost like 18 years, and she could see the contrast. She could see the difference between her and the other girl. Other girl is so good now, can meditate, and with the compassion element is increasing, wisdom and increasing. Even the single point meditation is so refined. She can talk about it so fine and practice herself. She practices herself, experiences, but the other girl got stuck there. And seeing the difference only with this, not when I told her. When I told her, she's not convinced. Only when she saw difference, when two of them met, she would see difference when they talk. When they share the experience, is very different. So the elder one, the smarter one, she started to regret a little bit. Now to start from scratch is like 16 years behind. So she was, in dilemma. This is what it is. This is the meaning of the may be blessed that the path is free of flaws, that I don't meet with the wrong people. Some people, particularly when you do so good, some people drag you very easily down. Be very careful. Pray that always follow the path which the Buddha taught, in a comprehensive way, as followed by Arya-Nagarjuna and his great teachers. And today, the best example is His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And so therefore, I oftentimes tell people that, so if I tell, who are you? You are not, the big shot. So this big shot said like this and so forth. Then I said, okay, the best thing is you don't trust me. Just follow what His Holiness the Dalai Lama is saying. Then they attend His Holiness teachings. Then His Holiness emphasizes so much on the bodhicitta, emptiness, to the extent that he says that if you consider me as your teacher, you have to practice the wisdom of emptiness, bodhicitta. This is how His Holiness emphasizes so much, and then I'm so glad that he also emphasizes so much on the studies. Without study, what do we learn? What conviction you'll gain? Without conviction, what practice are you going to do? So all are going to be like just in the air, no ground. So So His Holiness goes to the extent of saying that all these, usually the Tibetans in the monasteries, they keep the sacred books not on the floor. They treat them with great respect. They keep on the altar. And at times, it's so well respected that it's not taken down also to study. They kept there and to offer water, and then that's it. Offer water, incense. They don't dare to touch it, take it down, study. No. Right? So sacred that they don't even dare to touch it. And they don't study. So all the knowledge remains in the book, not in the head. That's what happens. So His Holiness says that, no, these books are not to be kept there and made offerings. Right? You can make offerings, that's fine. But bring it down, use them as textbook. This is what His Holiness says. So this is where the best thing would be, say, as often as possible, try to attend to His Holiness's teachings. There must be French translation. Yes. So this will make sure that you have a comprehensive path. This is so precious. Okay. Yes. Then the next part. The four dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva is, so here we see the renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom of emptiness, and the non-duality, the wisdom of the non-duality, bliss and emptiness, the four. And finally, what do you mean by the path? What do you mean by comprehensive path? Comprehensive path means these four things: renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom of emptiness, and the wisdom of the non-dual bliss and emptiness. And what are each one of these? They are in great detail explained there. Although it's just one line each. One line meaning one sentence each. One sentence each, but the meanings are so concisely given there. What is renunciation? Becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance, self-grasping ignorance, that grasp at true existence, grasping the self and things as truly existent. Please bless me with genuine renunciation. What is renunciation? Saying wanting to renounce the whole, say, the undesirable experiences, all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive, which transforms samsara. And the next, the bodhicitta. Please bless me that my mind stream flows with the precious bodhicitta. What is bodhicitta? That cherishes others more than myself. This wording I took from His Holiness's teachings. Then please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness. What is wisdom of emptiness? That does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, that the intrinsic reality is nowhere to be seen, exist. On the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination, wisdom of emptiness is but the dependent origination. Through mere conditioning, these wordings come mainly from Acharya Chandrakriti, which His Holiness cites so often. And the last one, the union of bliss and emptiness. This is Tantra. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of the bliss and emptiness. So these are the 4 points which we are to embrace to make your path very comprehensive. Okay. We said it already or not said? Okay, we'll say this together. The four dharmas of Venerable Gampopa. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the dharma. May I be blessed that my dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva. Becoming utterly frustrated with ignorance that grasp at true existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious freedom of the non-duality, bliss and emptiness. Edam Guru Radna Menda Lagam Niratiyami. Okay, foundation of all good qualities. Balamasungkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind of perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows a body, the results of virtues and non-virtues come and follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me to always to be careful to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, and alertness, and great question arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so for all other my created beings, please bless me to see this twin in Supreme Bodhicitta and bear the responsibility of freeing my creature beings. Even if I develop Bodhicitta but I don't practice the three types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacify distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly with my mind stream the unified path of come about in special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gate with the fortunate ones, the Supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pleasures like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Guru who showed the noble path, and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my life, never separate from perfect gurus, enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities and stages in the paths, may quickly attain the state of Vajratara. The meaning of the mantra of Mixima Lama Tsongkhapa's praise, the first we read the meaning. Yadavalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroy hosts of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows, love Santa by your feet and make prostrations. Lo Santa Be Sham La Sova De Ne Me Zeve De Jere Se Te Me Kembe Ombo Jambe Yam Khanjen Kembe Zoge Zokaba Lo Santa Be Sham La Sova De Ne Me Zeve De Jere Se Te Me Kembe Ombo Jam me zu ye zong ka ba lo sa cha me sha la so ba ne. Yoravalavateshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroy hosts of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages, land of snows, love Santa by your feet and make prostrations. Okay, generating mind of consummate yoga. Okay. 5 minutes meditation. Okay, now I don't think we need instructions. We will directly do that 5 minutes. And you can do any meditation, not necessarily what we learned, the single point meditation, any meditation, whatever you're doing. But a message has something to do with the single point meditation. There are so many kinds. Buddha image, breathing, awareness. And then within the breathing, there are so many versions there. And the Vipassana meditation, observing sensations. Yeah, you can do any of these. Ready? 5 minutes. Okay. Our next renunciation. The 4 seals, on the basis of 4 seals. Renunciation is to renounce the miseries. To renounce the miseries, we need to know how to get rid of the causes of the miseries. As we learned, He Dharma Hedu Prabhava, Hetum Desham Tathagato Hevatat. So the miseries, they arise from the causes, and what the causes are is taught by the Tathagata. So to counteract these causes, which are in the form of contaminant karmas, afflictions, inappropriate tension, and self-grasping ignorance, the 4 wisdoms are taught refer just to 4 seals. The first, all composite things are impermanent. Okay, just without any instruction, just try to think of whatever you've learned before, whatever your experience of the impermanence before. You try to include, bring them in your meditation now. I'll give you like 1 minute. Slowly wander the first reflection and move to the second reflection. All contaminated things of suffering nature. Try your best to bring in what you understand by contaminated things. What do you mean by suffering? And connect this with the first seal. Okay, this suffering nature, whether or not there is a solution to this, when will these come to an end? How can we bring an end to these sufferings, acute sufferings? Yes, we have to tackle the ultimate cause of this suffering. And what's the ultimate cause of suffering? Self-grasping ignorance. How to get rid of this? By introducing the counterforce. What is the counterforce? The wisdom. What's a wisdom? Wisdom is the discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with reality. What is reality? Reality is what the Buddha indicated as the 3rd seal. Everything is the nature of emptiness, selflessness. Let us quickly meditate on emptiness. What are you doing? Okay, today we'll meditate on somebody who you love so much. Genuinely who loves you so much. Who you love so much. And how this person who you love so much appear. Maybe your mother, father, brother, sister, daughter, son, husband, wife, whatever. How does this person appear to you? Like a dream, or as an object real, nothing to do with my mind. Of course, so real there. Okay. If this person were to exist truly real, the way he or she appears, and the belief that the person does believe in the person does exist in that form, is known as self-grasping ignorance. If the person truly exists that way, remember what Arjuna said. If the mirage were to be water, one of those close by the mirage see water. Like if this person to whom I love so much, if this person were to truly exist as objectively, whenever I see this person as I go closer to the object. Okay, now let us go closer to the object. The mind which goes to explore the self, what the self is, what this person is, by going closer to the object, is known as ultimate analysis. Now let us subject this person to ultimate analysis by going closer towards this person. By doing so, let us just ignore all those things which are not this person. First we see a very thin layer of the skin of the person. Behind that, the fatty tissues. Behind that, the muscles, cartilages. Alongside the bone, the whole skeleton. The skull, the jaws. Then all these, the bones, then the arms, the thighs, the ribs. None of this is person. This person is so appealing, but these bones are very scary. But what about the heart, the lungs, the liver, the spleen, the pancreas, the stomach, intestines? These solid parts constitute the element of earth. None of the element of earth of this person is that person. Okay, just ignore this. Element of water, the 4 liters of blood which the person's heart pumps in and out to the different parts of the body. Of course, that is not the person. Element of air, element of fire, the body heat. You can see the person from distance. You cannot see the person's body heat. Element of fire, element of air, the 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in and out through his or her lungs. Of course, that is not that person. Element of space. 99.99% of the person is empty. Of course, that is not the person. Person is solid in nature. That's space vacuum in nature. What's left now? The person's mind. The person is a male, female, and the person's mind does not have the gender. Gender is posited on the basis of the body. So therefore, even this person's mind is also not the person. And also I can see this person, but I cannot see the mind of the person. Okay, so now we see that none of the 6 elements is to be identified as intrinsically one with that person. True. Okay, now, if the self would exist as the objectively there, since none of the 6 elements is found as intrinsically one with the self, one with that person, just see if the person exists intrinsically different from these 6 elements. Remove all the 6 elements. What's left? Nothing is left there. From this we discovered that in the eyes of ultimate analysis, this self is nowhere to be identified as intrinsically one with the 6 elements, nor to be identified as intrinsically different from the 6 elements. Where is this person now? You have come too close to the object. Where is this self now from the object? Nothing to be identified as this self, as this person. It's very scary though. It's very scary. Stay in this experience. It's very scary. And this is not what you are exaggerating. This is not what your mind is. Your mind is reifying or exaggerating. It is what you are discovering. Yes, the self does not exist objectively. This person does not exist objectively. Okay, now imagine that we come out of the meditation. Again, the person comes back, which means the appearance of the person comes back. The person appears to your mind. But from the object, there's nothing to be identified as the person, that's for sure. But the person appears to my mind now. Your mind is subject. So what appears to your mind is just subjective. And on top of that you go into the object, the person disappears. You come out of the meditation, again the person comes back. Constantly there's a change happening. But on the object there's no change. What is that change? Change is only happening on your perception. And whatever is involved as a part of this change, for sure it is related to the subject. So then, and this person is discovered. It's only the mere appearance to my mind. Nothing really exists from the object. Go back to the ultimate analysis. Too close to object. What do you see? I just see the 6 elements. And then nowhere from the object is to be seen as the self, is that person. Still in this experience. Okay, you might get a tinge of fear, or a tickling sensation, cold waves through your body. If these things happen, you are very fortunate. Some people might have a very tranquil experience. Yes, so precious. But if you don't have this experience, it doesn't matter. We need more extensive studies, reflection, meditation. Eventually you too will experience these. So with this experience, just as this self is dissolved in this experience, all my sorrows will also dissolve through this same analysis. Wow, that's amazing. In this vast experience of the emptiness, the sorrow dissolves. Sorrow is transcended. This is what as the sorrow is transcended, you experience an extremely profound degree of the peace of mind, the peace, absolute peace. This is what the Buddha indicated as the 4th seal. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace, abundance experience for a while. Okay, the desire, the aspiration to experience this emptiness where all your sorrows dissolve is the ultimate understanding of renunciation. Stay in this experience of renunciation for a while. Okay, good. Slowly come out of this meditation. We take a few seconds gap before we do the bodhicitta. Ready? We'll do the first 2 immeasurables. In which case we'll alter the sequence. Immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. All forms of suffering, suffering of losing the diamonds, suffering of the fear of losing jobs, suffering of the illnesses, suffering of the becoming old, all forms of sufferings. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear Mother sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you make such a gracious commitment, they intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke the compassion of omniscient minds to ascend for nectars of soothing lights to us, you and ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies and beings yours, washes of all the miseries and the cause of miseries from the minds of sentient beings to yourself. You witnessing such a miracle is happening to us all the demon sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take the 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear Mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and causes happiness. They cause the happiness consisting of Adhisharish mind, compassion, bodhicitta and so forth, and the wisdom of emptiness. May all my dear Mother sentient beings be endowed with happiness and causes happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and I'll take the responsibility that all my dear Mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the cause of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you make such a gracious commitment, they intensely happy and proud of you. Like the mother, after all these many years of hardships in raising her children, today the eldest child, the daughter, so loving and very thoughtful and responsible girl, and the eldest son, come to the mother. Mother, please take rest. You have done everything for us. You have sacrificed everything for us. Now we are grown up. We'll take care of all our siblings. And the mother is so proud, so happy, could not contain her tears. This is exactly what is happening to all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas today. They are so happy and proud of you to make this responsibility, to take this responsibility, to take charge of all your dear Mother sentient beings. This happiness and pride of all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas invoke the compassion of omniscient minds to ascend for the nectars and very swiftly lights to us, you and ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies and beings yours instills in all happiness and all the cause of the happiness. And you, witnessing such a miracle is happening, you are so intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Our body is unconscious love which underscores all the 4 immeasurables. Imagine that you are looking at the eyes with so much love and affection. You are looking at the eyes of each of the sentient beings, to the extent that each one of them feel themselves as so special in your eyes. With the spirit of the unconditional love, with folded hands, let us make a bodhicitta commitment 3 times together. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear Mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear Mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear Mother sentient beings. Abide in this incredibly most beautiful mind in this universe, the unconditional love of bodhicitta. And slowly transform this beautiful mind of bodhicitta into a spotlessly clean moon disk, horizontally sitting at your heart. That's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha. That's amazing. How can you become Buddha? Yes, by resorting to a very powerful remedy to remove all the mental defilements that see the Buddhahood inside. Buddha nature becomes manifest in the form of perfect knowledge, perfect love, and perfect power to benefit all the beings. How can you do that? Or by cultivating this ultimate bodhicitta, the non-dual wisdom of emptiness of the Arya beings. Okay. Let's quickly retrieve the experience of the emptiness which you meditated related to your loved one, particularly somebody who you love so much. Okay, what do you see of that person by subjecting the person to ultimate analysis? I just see the 6 elements of this person: element earth, water, fire, air, space, and consciousness. Okay, which of the 6 elements of this person is that person? None. Different from the 6 elements, what is there as this person? Nothing. So that now that you have come too close to this object, the person's object, where is this person? Nowhere to be seen this person. From the object, the person is totally empty. Stay in this experience for a while. This is what you're discovering. It's not what you're inventing. Slowly transform this most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness into a spotless, clean, thumb-sized white vajra, vertically sitting on the moon disk at your heart. Okay, with great compassion, with great compassion towards all the beings, your Vajramuni at your heart multiplies infinite number of times. Share one set of the Vajramuni at the heart of your mother, one set with your father, one set with each one of your children, one with each of your family members, one with each of the sentient beings here in Senkom, the human beings, the animals, insects, hungry ghosts, hell beings, god and goddesses, spirits, one with each of the beings in the world, one with each of the beings in the entire universe. Okay, that's amazing. And let us not forget that all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they're watching us. Why not we invite all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas to be the guests as well as the witness to our undertaking the ceremony of taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. I suggest we make this request. Let us slowly stand and make 3 prostrations along with all the other sentient beings. Right knees, and in the process of taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, If you feel a little painful, then you can sit down in the most comfortable position. Okay, ready? Page 50 in English. Okay, now that you all know the meanings, let us try best to reflect the meanings. All the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas are with us in a space in front of us, like the mother, like your parents, leaving behind all the works of the day to come to take part in your performance, where you are for the first time in your life making the performance on behalf of the school, and your parents are there waving their hands to tell you that we are here, we are so proud of you. This is exactly what all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas feel today. And imagine that you, not only you are performing, you are deliberately bringing all your siblings to this performance. Here, you are taking all the demonstration beings to undertake this ceremony of tea, and they express Bodhisattva vow. Okay, with this mind, let us say these verses together, wholeheartedly, with the meanings reflected. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the amount of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all dear sentient beings, I will generate the amount of bodhicitta, and I shall do successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the amount of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the amount of bodhicitta, and I shall do successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the amount of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the amount of bodhicitta, and I shall do successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices. Just feel the joy over having received the expression Bodhisattva vow. We are all very fortunate, and the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're extremely proud and happy about what you have done today. With this, the pride and happiness all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas feel, invoke the Vajra moon at their hearts to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, they descend to merge with the one that visualizes to the heart, thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized and blessed. Likewise, all these innumerable replicas of Vajra moon from the hearts of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas descend to merge with the one that visualizes the heart of your mother, and the heart of your father, and the heart of each one of your children, your family members, all the beings here in Sankam, in the Kalachakra, and the Paris, the France, the world, Milky Way galaxy, and the entire universe, thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized and blessed of the Vajra moon that you've shared with all of them. Now this guarantees that all your beings have left a special imprint in mind due to your effort and your compassion, your love, that they leave such imprint to become enlightened. They're so precious. And this is the greatest gift that you can imagine to give to all the demonstration beings. And today you gifted them with this gift. And this is the best of the offerings that you can think of to make to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Today you made it. And your life, this is meaning you've extracted, great meaning, you've given such meaning to your own life. And this all happened because of the kindness of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So it's just thanking all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Let us slowly stand to make 3 prostrations along with all demonstration beings. Okay, page 51. And now to be connected with these two bodhisattvas, even in future lifetimes, we'll pray this. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by compassion Buddha and be able to uphold the two precious bodhisattvas even in the cosmic life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion Buddha and be able to uphold the two precious bodhisattvas even in the cosmic life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion Buddha and be able to uphold the two precious bodhisattvas even in the cosmic life. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucid seized and awakened the mind of this bodhicitta in this way should highly praise in the following manner. Today my life has borne fruit. Having well obtained this human existence, I've been born in the family of the Buddha and now in one of Buddha's children. Thus whatever action I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall I disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind person discovering a jewel in the Hebrew rubbish, likewise, by some coincidence, an awakened mind has been born within me. It's the supreme ambrosia that overcomes the sovereignty of death. It's the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world. It's the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease. It's the tree that shelters all beings wandering entirely on the path of conditioned existence. It is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy stage of birth. It's the dawning moon of the mind that dispels the torment of disturbing conceptions. It's a great sun that finally removes the misty ignorance of the world. It's the quintessential butter from the churning of the milk of Dharma. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the boundaries of happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and actually place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, I invite the world to be guests at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight. May gods, demigods, and all be joyful. Okay, dedication of the virtues. Let's reflect on the meanings here. I dedicate the merit thus gathered to its realization of the deeds and the prayers of the Buddhists and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine of scripture and insight. May I in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perseverance in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast is the space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdomized blinded with ignorance. Deyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhiswatyata Om Gade Gade Paragate Parasamgade Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgade Bodhiswaha. Okay, 3 prostrations.